Bitcoin is being held hostage, not by hackers, not by technology, not by regular investors. It is being held hostage by systems that fear what it represents. Price is moving, but freedom is not. Volatility is high, but control is higher, and most people don't even realize what's happening. Bitcoin was created to be unstoppable, yet today it is being paused, shaken, and restrained. Not openly, quietly. This is not about price going up or down. This is about control, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Bitcoin is not failing. Bitcoin is being pressured. The question is why? To understand that, you need to understand what Bitcoin really threatens. Bitcoin threatens intermediaries. It threatens centralized power. It threatens systems built on permission. For decades, money has been controlled by a few. Banks decide who can access it. Governments decide how it moves. Institutions decide its value. Bitcoin removed permission. That is why it cannot be ignored. So instead of banning it completely, something smarter is happening. Control through pressure. Every major Bitcoin cycle follows the same pattern. Price rises, attention grows, retail enters, then pressure appears, regulation headlines, exchange warnings, liquidity disappears, price drops, and suddenly the narrative changes. Bitcoin becomes dangerous. Bitcoin becomes unstable. Bitcoin becomes risky. But notice something important. Bitcoin itself never changes. The network runs. Blocks are mined. Transactions settle. What changes is access. That is where the hostage situation begins. Most people don't own real Bitcoin. They own exposure. ETFs, IOUs, derivatives, paper claims, and whoever controls access controls behavior. Exchanges halt withdrawals. Trading pairs get paused. Leverage gets reduced. Not because Bitcoin failed, because pressure was applied. This is how control works in modern markets, not with force, with friction. When price starts moving in a way that threatens stability, brakes are applied. Liquidity is tightened, rules change, fear spreads, retail panics, strong hands wait. This is not conspiracy. This is market structure. Bitcoin trades inside a system it was designed to replace. That contradiction creates tension, and tension creates manipulation. Look at derivatives. Most Bitcoin price action is driven by futures and options, not spot demand. Leverage magnifies moves. Liquidations create cascades. Price is pushed just far enough to trigger forced selling. Then it stops. Not because selling is done, but because the objective is achieved. Liquidity has been captured. This is why Bitcoin often feels heavy, like it wants to move, but something is holding it back. That something is positioning. Big players don't need price to go up immediately. They need time. They need accumulation without attention. They need weak hands gone. So pressure continues. Sideways movement, sharp drops, fast recoveries, enough to exhaust patience, enough to create doubt. This is psychological warfare. Markets move people before they move price. And Bitcoin is no exception. Now look at regulation. Every time Bitcoin gains momentum, regulation becomes louder, not clearer, not resolved, just louder, because uncertainty slows adoption. Fear delays conviction, confusion creates hesitation, and hesitation keeps control intact. Notice how regulation is always coming soon, never finished, never clear, just close enough to scare, far enough to avoid resolution. That is not accidental. Uncertainty is leverage. Now look at custody. Not your keys, not your coins exists for a reason, because custody is control. When Bitcoin sits on exchanges, it can be paused, it can be frozen, it can be restricted. Self-custody removes that control. That is why it is discouraged, not banned, discouraged, complex, risky, not beginner-friendly. Anything that reduces self-sovereignty increases dependence. Dependence is control. This is the hostage situation. Bitcoin exists, but access is filtered. Freedom exists, but friction is added. Now look at media narratives. Bitcoin is either dead or dangerous, never stable, never normal. Because normalization removes fear. And fear is useful. Fear keeps people reactive. Reactive people don't plan. They respond. Responding creates mistakes. Mistakes create opportunity for those waiting. Every cycle, retail sells Bitcoin they don't understand to institutions that do. Not because institutions love Bitcoin, but because they understand scarcity. They understand timing. They understand control. Bitcoin is scarce, attention is scarce, patience is scarce. Most people fail not because Bitcoin fails, they fail because time exhausts them. Now look at on-chain data. Long-term holders are not selling. Coins are moving off exchanges. Old wallets are waking up. This does not align with panic. It aligns with preparation. The hostage is not being harmed. It is being restrained, waiting for the moment when pressure can no longer hold. That moment always comes, because systems built on control eventually face systems built on math. Bitcoin does not negotiate. It does not comply. It does not respond to fear. It just keeps producing blocks, every 10 minutes, relentlessly. That is its power. That is why it scares centralized systems. They cannot stop it. So they slow it. They delay adoption. They control ramps. They influence perception. As long as Bitcoin feels unstable, people hesitate. As long as people hesitate, control remains. But hesitation does not last forever. Every cycle ends the same way. Pressure fails, liquidity breaks, price escapes, and suddenly everyone pretends it was obvious. This is not about price prediction. This is about understanding structure. Bitcoin is not being rejected. It is being managed until it cannot be. History shows this pattern clearly. New systems are always resisted, not openly, strategically. The internet was mocked, then controlled, then normalized. Bitcoin is following the same path. Right now, it is in the control phase, the hostage phase. But hostages don't stay captive forever, especially when they don't need permission to exist. The biggest mistake people make is focusing on short-term price. Price is noise, structure is signal. As long as Bitcoin continues to produce blocks, scarcity increases. As long as scarcity increases, pressure builds. As long as pressure builds, control weakens. This is not about timing the breakout. It's about surviving the restraint. Those who panic sell free the hostage for someone else. Those who understand wait. Bitcoin does not need hype. It needs time. And time always favors systems built on truth, not control. Bitcoin is being held hostage, but it is not weak. It is patient. And when patience runs out, the release is never gentle. DS Global Forex subscribe to be the first to know about such breaking news.